Good morning, New York. It's 8:32 a.m., 19th of April, Wednesday morning here. No news this morning. Looking at the weekly, still sitting above the red ribbon here, and it seems to be pushing back to the upside. Daily, a bit of a sell-off this morning. Okay, nothing big yet, but we'll see what happens this session. It has been climbing strongly for the past month. And so, as usual, there's just a little bit of pullback expected at some point. Could be seeing that now. 4 hour, we have pulled back to this area of the channel here. And what are we looking at next? That's the next area of demand where we would possibly pull back to, okay, on the 4 hour. 4 hour major demand here at 33,650. Is where I'm looking at for a pullback at the moment. If we get that, otherwise it's going to kick straight up to the upside during the index open here and continue this channel. So let's not try and guess what happens until it shows us. 1 hour, we can see here on the 1 hour, we are getting a push deep into the ribbon here, which is indicative of a change of momentum. If it breaks beneath this, then we should have some downside action for at least a week. And we can just be wary of trading that short with the notion that we're still on a strong uptrend. Okay, so just using these ribbons to guide us in terms of trend direction. If this crosses down and pushes through here, it's a strong indication of a break of structure. Okay, and we'll come down to here first. It's the demand zone, and we just want to be wary of how we trade things. I don't want to be selling short and getting stuck short as it shoots to the upside. That's my major issue. Buying would still be on the cards, but we want to see how heavy the selling is. Okay. Remember, we're getting a discount. We're still on a strong uptrend, and it's due for some some selling. So this kind of action we'll be looking at on the hourly. Okay, on the 5 minute here, beautiful mean reversion yesterday on the 5 minute time frame using river wide. Works really well river wide on the 5 minute. I'm actually taking a lot of my trading decisions off the 5 minute now, and just using the riverbank as the area where I'm going to buy and sell. Okay, obviously, buying, it really hits it every single day on the 5 minute here. So nice to wait for that zone. It's much more of it's a stronger confirmation. We can see we're in a strong uptrend as well on the 5 minute using the ribbon here. This was that week that we didn't get any trade signals because it was bouncing off the median. It was in a strong uptrend. Mean reversion flat, bit of a strong uptrend, mean reversion flat. Now we're in mean reversion. I dare say we might be shooting to the downside and opening up this ribbon so that we're coming down here for a little bit and just some sell-off. I'm kind of expecting that. It seems to be pushing to the downside. We've had the cross on the high time frame here. We're talking about this blue pushing into the red here. So with that being said, I'm just looking to be. I definitely would like a sell. A sell would be nice. Okay, something like this up in this area here. If we get a pullback to this area, on the 5 minute here, sell that. Looks great for a sell. Okay, up here, that kind of action. Okay, and then just your entry art is something that you're going to discover yourself, how you enter and exit there. I can't describe that to you. Everyone's going to be slightly different. The better you get at your timing, the better it is. Just let the price do its thing, and obviously if it goes against you like this, look to get out around break even. Okay, no stress at all. Look forward to being in negative positions, not freak out about it. We're never going to get a perfect. Trying to get a perfect entry here is not right. So you can even enter a little bit lower, just as long as you understand the movement that you're looking for, which is a push up here and then a continuation to the downside. That's kind of what's happening here. Another option that will happen at the index open is that it pushes deep in like this. If it pushes deep like this, try and avoid buying until we see what the movement looks like. If it pulls back deep and then starts doing this, you can buy, okay? But just make sure your take profits are small, okay? And just be wary of that. I don't want to be selling the medium too much in case it shoots back to the upside like that at some point. You want to be stuck short down here. So depending on the trajectory, you can buy against flow, okay, as long as the flow isn't very strong. The more I talk about this, the more you'll understand. Okay, it's not rocket science what we're trying to do here. We're just trying to capture a little bit of this movement. That's all. Just a little bit of this movement here. That's all we're trying to do. Capture a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. Okay, and we'd like to capture a bigger piece there. There are areas around the bands. That's when we know we're in high probability zones. Okay, and if we look at the 1 minute, it's pretty flat here. So there was a nice push into the 1 minute river. Okay, 5 minutes a bit more reliable in terms of giving us a signal that's a bit stronger, and then we can use our 1 minute to refine our entry and look at how price action is moving. But right now, pretty clear that a beautiful area to sell, the ideal trade would be something like that. Even if it pushes kind of up there and comes down, this kind of sell looks great. Okay, and just be mindful that we are in a strong uptrend. So the possibility is that it comes down and then shoots up like that is very real, but also a nice place to sell if it traverses to the bottom and comes back and does this kind of action. You can still sell that. Okay, so selling around here is really what we're looking for, and buying only if it doesn't waterfall down or cascade down. It seems like the river is heading to the downside at the moment. Our trajectory is to the downside, so we're looking to as long as if we get like nice movement like this with pullbacks, we can trade that with buyers. Okay, I know I talked about selling the median. I just want to keep with our normal strategy at the moment. I want to keep, especially people that are new learning this, I don't want to confuse you. People that have been with me for a while may be able to adapt in between, but right now for this analysis, I'm going to keep things the same, and I want you just to be, buying the bottom of the river if it is a nice pull, like a nice price action, and selling the top of the river in this circumstance. I'm going to quickly look at gold. Strong uptrend, but pulling back at the moment on the weekly. Okay, pulling back again here on the daily. On the 4 hour, it's pushing through and collapsing down through this area here. If it crosses hard, it seems to be crossing hard. I'm pretty confident we're going to get this kind of action for about a week on gold. So some downside action, but we are in a very strong uptrend. So just remember, anytime it can just decide to resume its uptrend strongly, okay, like that. So we just want to be mindful of our high time frames and look for little scalps here and there in that. 1 hour, strong downtrend on the 1 hour. Okay, we haven't seen this kind of action yet, since March 23. It definitely seems to be the only other time it was like it's in a downtrend. Okay, with using this guppy moving average ribbon, we're in a downtrend. Okay, it's moving away from it, and therefore, what the next probable move is going to be a push back up to here, right, where these in our supply zones. Okay, and we'd look to sell that kind of action. Okay, once it pushes up here, we look to sell the top of the river. Okay, I'm apprehensive buying gold right now. I don't know the price action well enough, and it can move. Likewise, we see here on river wide, on the 5 minute time frame, it really did fall out the bottom here. And I kind of expected that to happen. I was seeing it during London, and some nice trading short if you are more advanced. I'm not going to bring that in. I've got to keep. I'm trading things a little differently to everybody else, and I will. I'm doing the strategy that we're doing, but there are some extra scalps that I'm including. So I'm learning to adapt new strategies at the moment, which you'll learn as you go on. So just excuse me for sometimes I do see trade opportunities, but I don't want to confuse anybody yet, because you can make so much money just doing our mean reversion that it's best to stay with that flow at the moment. We can see here on the 5 minute, very strong downside action. Okay, and what's going to happen? Well, this kind of thing is going to happen. It's going to come up like this. It's going to come into here. It's probably going to go back down, but it is eventually going to move back. It's going to revert to the mean. So if we call the red one now, the mean, the high time frame mean, the average price. This is the average price, the red bands here, as well as this 200 MA, and here is also a average price. But we're going to have a price push back up to this area. It might sell off here first, but eventually it's going to come back up to here, okay, and then continue selling down. That's the kind of action that we will see on gold, okay? So flowing to the downside unless we get this kind of action where it pushes up like this, okay, and a really strong move and then comes back down like that. Until then, we're in a strong downtrend, okay, on the 5 minute with gold. What does that mean on the 1 minute? That, we're just watching, 1 minute here is a very strong downtrend. Look at this beautiful setup possibly happening, okay? For me on the 5 minute, if we look at the 3 minute on gold, I'm looking for anything kind of up. It's going to cross above, but anything kind of up here will be nice to jump in with the sell. We want to see this come up, sort of run out of steam, top out, and then start moving to the downside. So this kind of action here, it might keep climbing a little bit, and then whoosh, that kind of action. That's what I'm looking at here. Where's the area of supply? Okay, here, previous demand turns into supply. Exactly where I drew it. Okay, so it's that kind of action that's happening. And how you trade that is up to you. You can get in with a position short, and you can hang on and like open it up a bit and try and capture that. I recommend just taking little bits and pieces, okay? But if you're very confident about the price action, you can go for that. The thing is, it takes quite a long time for this to eventuate, so I might do this in the meantime before it actually does go like that, and you can make a lot of money just sort of bouncing off and reselling that kind of range. So that's what gold looks like at the moment. I'm gonna leave it at that for now. 8:44 a.m. New York. Okay, US30. Stick with US30. We can see now on US30 that there isn't too much price action before the index open. You've got 45 minutes until the index opens. But have a great day trading. Keep doing what you're doing. And yeah, it's a pleasure. But I will be releasing some updates shortly, especially for the more advanced guys. Okay, have a great day.